Hello, my witches and bitches and all those fans of the fictitious, and welcome back to another video. It's me, Sam, and Loki's with us today. He's feeling a little bit better, so yeah, he has to wear the cone of shame. He obviously loves it, as you can see by his face, but he's here. So today's video, we are gonna go into the books that I got, Shadows and Seductions. So I'll show you the authors that I met and all the books that I got, and tell you what they're about and see if you're interested. Quick little outfit check. Got my little skull earrings. All right. My "Are You Flirting With Me?" little shirt, because this was a dark romance con, so obviously we had to dress the part, and Loki's just here for the vibes. I swear he's okay. He's just sleepy away. It'll be right. It'll be fine. So all right, starting with what was in my little Shadows and Seductions bag that I got at the con. So let's start with the books that I got there that were free and they just gave it to us. So the first one is this one. I don't know if you can see. It's still wrapped. See in the dark. A sword of shadow and deceit. So it talks about desperation makes warriors of captives. The gods split the skies and rained down tyranny upon the mortal realm long ago. Ever since then, the only thing worse than being human is being of divine blood. For someone like me, an undocumented godchild, indebted to the underworld assassination guild, that means only one thing: a life in the shadows. Or so it should have been until mortal gods academy. Until them. The Dark Haven brothers were truly the worst of all gods, spawn, arrogant, wicked, violent. Course, like we usually do in dark romances. To them, I'm nothing more than a human plaything meant for torment. For me, they're the path and key to my freedom. But if any of them find out who I am and what I am, even the shadows won't be able to save me. It's a cute little tiny book that they gave us, saran wrap. Still, I haven't opened it yet, but excited to read it. This other book came in our little package for free. It is Sparrowwood Academy by Angela Lawson. You can see it if the glare doesn't want to glare anymore. And let's see what it's about. Sparrowwood Academy is for the elite, the rich, the well-connected. Eden Warren is none of those things. She spent most of her life in Kingston, mostly hanging out at the park with her sister Hope. When Hope goes missing, Eden makes a last-ditch effort to find her by going to Hawk, her enemy and leader of the K-Boys, for help. Of course, enemies to lovers, is that what we're doing here? Probably. Sparrowwood Academy is filled with darkness, entitlement, brats. Why does this remind me of, the Ritual series? Because, similar. Anyway, no one knows why they're there, why the K-Boys and Eden are giving a shot for a world-class education among the spoiled and privileged. They'll need to take care of one another. One thing's for certain: there's a target on their back. So we'll see. Again, a little smaller book, but free in our little package. Okay, another book I got for free in my little bag was this, Revolt by K.A. Knight. I kind of really like the little art design on it. It's pretty. Let's see. Rain Haro, probably said that wrong, was the Princess of Rock until she randomly disappeared 6 months ago. Taking her secrets or fame with her, now she's back and she seems more determined than ever to be the best, to earn the awards and titles others only dreamed of, and maybe even a little revenge along the way. To show everyone that wronged her just what she is made of. But when her past collides with dreams, can Rain withstand the heat once more? Will she reach her I know that word, hold on. Will she reach her crescendo, or will it be curtain fall? Okay, words. Music, I love it. Tune in for tonight's show and find out. Long may she reign, because her name's Rain. I love a little pun, but that's different. Oh, Princess of Rock, a little rock star book action, so that'll be unique. I'm interested to see how that one goes too. So here are the books that I brought with me to the BookCon to get signed. So these books I got from my bestie Dawn, and actually the author goes by a different pen name now, or like she used her pen name, now she goes by a different name now, but here they are. So Fallen Angel by Tessa James and Tortured Sinner by Tessa James, but the actual name there was Luna Pierce. So I believe it's a series, I want to say, of 5 books or so, and I have not read it yet, so good and interested to find out how that will go. Good and interested to see how that will go since my bestie recommended it to me. So let's see what they are about. Fallen Angel. So it says, I barely made it out alive, and even then, I lost the life I knew. I was sure my plan would work, that I'd be able to disappear without a trace and leave the past behind me, but when a note appears and reminds me that I cannot run from this kind of evil, I'm forced to figure out how to end this once and for all. Dragging Claire into the mess with me was never part of the plan, but she's proven herself time and time again. I'm not sure I can do this without her. I'm not sure I even want to try. A darkness lingers in both of us and threatens to take hold. I just have to stop it before it tracks us down with it, her most of all. Tortured Sinner is, my name is Johnny and I dance with the devil. Very dark romancy. The covers, I mean the covers are very dark romance, but at least that's what I tell people, so they stay as far away as possible. I never meant to get mixed up with the wrong crowd, but if you want to win a war, you have to get your hands a little dirty. The plan was to keep myself isolated until an angel walks into my life that makes my dead heart start to beat again. She's sweet, innocent, of course. He's like a demon, she's like an angel, of course. That always happens. And everything I shouldn't want, but I can't seem to stay away. I'll take everything I have to resist the magnetic pull between us, but what if Claire is the salvation I need? Okay, so that actually sounds like this would be the first book, and then this would be the second book, I believe. Oh, if I had a brain, this one says 1, and this one says 2. I love it when books say that, so 1 and 2. There you go. Read that in order. Tortured Sinner, then Fallen Angel. So now we know. I believe, like I said, there's 3 more in this series, and my friend said they were very descriptive on how to do certain scenes. And she did a lot of research in certain way, little spicy scenes. So I don't know if it's in these 2, but you know, we'll see. Okay, some other books I brought to get signed by the author that there was obviously the Ruinous Love Trilogy by Bryn Weaver. So I've read the first 2 so far. So Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, which I dressed up as Leather, not Leather, which I dressed up as Lark at the BookCon when I met her. And my friend dressed up as this character Rose in the 3rd book, which I haven't started yet, but I will be soon. And I'm excited to meet Barbara, which I believe is Raccoon in this one. But pretty much from what I've got from these 2, it's like best friends, serial killers, some brothers that are all have a past as well dealing with that, and they kind of fall in love, and then she messes with food in ways that I guess you can't unsee, or I guess unhear. You can't unread the way she messes with food, so you won't look like ice cream will be the same, pizza and beer. Yeah, but is it worth it? Yes, absolutely. This one was definitely like, to me, kind of cuter and everything. This one was like my favorite so far, so I'm interested to see how the 3rd one is. I believe she's like a circus performer into tarot cards, and I know in the last one she got like injured, so I'm curious. Then I also gave her this to sign, her newer book series, Tour Season. There's another one, I think it's Harvest Season. I may be wrong, but oh yeah, I think I'm right. But Harvest Season is the 2nd one. It's coming out soon, but I got her to sign this one, and look how pretty the screen edges are. Can Can we take a moment? Yes. So I obviously haven't read this one because I kind of want to wait for the second one to come out. But may I read it before? Yeah, probably. Let's see. Does it tell us what it's about? Cape Carnage, seaside town, colorful houses, quirky shops, and an unusually high body count. With tourists come trouble, the Harper Sterling won't let anyone ruin her picture-perfect home. Skilled gardener with killer instincts. Harper protects her sanctuary and her aging mentor with a fading memory at a cost. Troublesome tourists don't check out Carnage. They compost beneath Harper's award-winning flower beds. But Nolan Rhodes isn't your average tourist. Deadly handsome, charming charm, skilled with a blade. Nolan is relentless in pursuit of revenge on every anniversary of the hit-and-run accident that fractured his life. Slays another target, and he saved the best for last. The undeniable, beautiful Harper Sterling. The problem, Harper isn't the monster he expected, and she won't go down without a fight. A true crime investigator comes to Cape Carnage on the trail of a long-lost serial killer. Harper and Nolan strike an uneasy truce. If Nolan helps Harper protect her town, she'll keep quiet about his hunting habits for now. But their alliance soon spirals into obsession, one that threatens to shatter every secret in Carnage, including their fragile love. I've also heard in this one of them, she ruins alcohol. I don't know. But this one, there's like furniture and other things that are like made with body parts. And a girl who is very, very petty and very jealous. And I relate to that on a lot of levels. So, and yeah, Loki's still here. He's just sleeping. Book. Very socially awkward, antisocial girl meets a very outgoing guy, and they kind of get each other, and I get it. And I think it's really cute, and they form a bond. And it's also like, he doesn't push her, so he's understanding. You know, they're both serial killers, but he's very understanding, and he's there for her, and he loves her, and I think that's cute. And I got stickers, apparently. Look. Taste of Terror Food Festival. Pretty murder bird. Look at that. That's so sweet. I didn't realize she put those in there. She was super nice too. If you ever meet her. She was also drinking a margarita or something. And I just love that she said, hold on, I gotta finish this. And that was great. That was great to me. Alright, so at this BookCon, I met some of the authors that I met at the last BookCon I went to in October from Romanticycon. And one of them is Rebecca F. Kinney. She gave me her little art book. It was free at her little stand. She was so nice because she saw I was a little overwhelmed. There was a lot going on. She's like, enjoy your time. It's a lot to take in, and I was probably a deer in headlights, but I organized her from the last con, and I have some of her books. So at the Romanticycon, I got these 2 books from her. Beautiful Villain. It's Bird Edge. And Charming Devil. Wolf Bird Edge. Let me look in her little art book, because it has all her books in here. Charming Devil. Let's see, Dorian Gray retelling. Pansexual MMC by FMC. Celtic Myth, Gods and Monsters. Morality Chain set in Charleston, South Carolina. Dangerous Powers, Hinduism and Luxury. Here's a quote. So what are you, God's gift? He chuckles. No, the devil's maybe. It never occurred to me that my painting might reach a maximum capacity where it could no longer bear the guilt of my overindulgence, my wicked apathy, my narcissistic obsession. That's all external beauty. I remember Dorian signs rolling his eyes. Is there any other kind? And don't say inner beauty or I shall vomit. Oh, Dorian Gray retelling. Interesting. And then Beautiful Villain. Let's see what she has here. Here's some quotes. I've always been yours, helplessly, wickedly, wretchedly yours. I wish things had been different, I whisper. I wish I'd done everything with you. The heat, the decadence, the vampires, Beautiful Villain has it all. Primal chase scene in the garden, VR scene. I did all this for you. Celtic folklore, vampires. Alright, so these are the books I got at the actual con from Rebecca Cameron. The Sea Witch. Right? When Ariel saves a young man from a shipwreck, she thinks she feels the soul echo, the sign that the prince is her true mate. The malevolent Sea Witch is all too happy to offer a deal that could make all her dreams come true. He wants her to win the prince's heart. He even coaches her in the art of seduction. But what is the real price of the Sea Witch's bargain, and why is he more brutally beautiful and seductively charming than Avril, probably saying that wrong, expected? Beloved Villains, Book 1. So this right here, these are the other books. So it's part of a series, fairy tale retelling, standalone novels in the same universe. So Sea Witch, and then you have The Maleficent Fairy, Nameless Trickster, because I can't read, The Midnight King, and The Beastly Brothers. So this is a retelling of The Little Mermaid and a male sea witch. So I just got this from Rebecca Kinney when I was at the con. A Quart of Sugar and Spice. And everything, okay, and everything nice. And let's see, a dark and spicy fae retelling of the Nutcracker. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love that. I used to dance and do the Nutcracker all the time, so it was adorable. So this is a part of the Wicked Darling series. So retelling of the Nutcracker. She also has 2 more in the series. That's retelling of Alice in Wonderland, Anna Whisper Oz, as well as the Snow Queen. And then they have bonus content, so that's the series. I think this little pamphlet too is on her website. Last but not least, that I got from Rebecca Kinney because it's gorgeous. It's stunning. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at that foiling. Look at that sprayed edge. It's a sprayed edge. Stunning. Oh, and look at the back. Little key. And the inside, like, it's just gorgeous. Oh my god, look at this art. Do you see it without all the glare? With all the glare, you see it. But it's so pretty. What? It's gorgeous. It's also book 6 in the Beloved Villain series, so. Sybil Fallon has a habit of summoning demons unintentionally at the most inconvenient times because, of course, you can summon. It's always convenient in my book to summon a demon. Why not? And then, when she, her mother, and her sister are invited to an upcoming dinner at the estate, the mysterious Theron Ford. Trust me, my pronunciation gets worse with fantasy books. It's terrible. Sybil is desperate to ensure that her ability won't manifest and ruin the evening, but when she seeks help from her reclusive former mentor, grandmother, I'm totally gonna fuck up this name, Riquet, something. She discovers that the old woman has changed in dangerous and disturbing ways. Yeah. A little spicy, different, a little retelling. Gorgeous. Can't wait to read. Disclaimer, I haven't read any of these books. None of them. But did I buy them? I sure did. Do I regret buying them? No. So another author that was there from the last book con in October at Romantasy Con was LJ Andrews. She writes fabulous books, and I got I think the rest of her series, so this is the first book. I got another one because it's a new edition and it's stunning. But look at that. The Broken Kingdoms. Gosh, look at that sprayed edge. Okay. The back. There's art in here. Oh. The audacity of just making this book gorgeous. To those who pretend to cheer for the hero but really love the villain. Love that. Oh. Gorgeous. I got pretty much the rest of the series. I think I had the first 3 books. So the rest of the series I got assigned, and they're like all the same except one, so don't judge it when you see it. I also got another book series from her at a different at the other book con. And we have a map. I love a good little map. That gorgeous book I showed you right here. This is the same book, and this is the whole series. I believe all 9 of them are here. It's a dark fantasy romance, fae Vikings, fairy tale retelling, morally gray characters, enemies to lovers trope, spicy violent for couples across 4 kingdoms, by LJ Andrews. And look, I pretty much have the whole thing here. Obviously this one doesn't match and it bugs me, but this one was new and it's gorgeous and they're just all here. This is another series I got by LJ Andrews at Romanticon. It's a dark fantasy romance, pirates, Vikings, fae, morally gray, enemies to lovers. They're interconnected series. I think there's one more book in this series that I don't have, but I got these at the other one, so that's some more books you can check out. All right, now on to the actual books I got at the con and I got signed, and some of the authors I met by A.M. McCoy. Oh yeah. So this is a series, Stalker, Psycho, and Bully. And yes, their sprayed edges are stunning. And glitter, of course. But just look at them. Oh my gosh. Pretty. And it is part of the Line Walkers series. But let's read the little synopsis, shall we? My pretty little puppet dreamed of monsters and things that go bump in the night. She ached to forget about responsibilities and expectations long enough to let a faceless predator chase her through the woods. So I gave Peyton everything she ever dreamed of once I hired her as my housekeeper. I brought her to the middle of nowhere to maintain, hello, words, my estate, and then I anonymously contacted her through the website she only visited when she was alone. I brought her monster to life and got her hooked on my special type of pie. I showed her both sides of myself as Lincoln Bryce, the recluse businessman, and as Dane, the dark and depraved monster she ran from in the dark and gave her body to in defeat. She didn't know we were the same person. Would she ever be okay with both sides of me if she learned the truth? And would I let her go if she wasn't? This is very like, stalker, dark romance, predator. Let's read the dedication. For the baddies who think sex with a bit of danger, a whole lot of obsession, and a ghost face mask, here's to thrill being stalked and turning the game around on him with a spicy lightsaber or 2. Oh my gosh. Let's read our line from Psycho. You know those over-the-top alpha possessive morally gray men that says things like mine and good girl? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Maddox Renner, the gummy bear of a man who says those things, but he also says things like, as far as I'm concerned, that's my baby, and forever, because even in death, I'm yours. Hope you're ready for him. Yes. And then let's read Bully's dedication, because I'm just curious, because these are pretty fire. To the baddies that like to argue and fight to get the blood pumping before they take it. The angst makes it so much hotter when the man you're sparring with uses the words to pretend he hates you, but uses his to prove he doesn't. Stay wild, just like the feral post office lady. I love that. That's probably the best dedication that I've read so far. Dark romance, stalker, she's mine, I'll kill anyone who gets in my way type vibes is what I'm getting from these. And also, just look how pretty they are. Like, yes. Also from A.M. McCoy, I got these lovely beauties, Twisted Lace, Twisted Ink. So, what if satisfying all my needs is too big of a job for one person? I believe there's multiple people. What's hotter than one touching man on his knee? 3. 3, she says. All right, buckle the fuck up, Twisted Lace. They call me Emo Barbie. That's all I need to know. Already sold. Emo Barbie. Did it for me. I haven't even read it yet, and I am in 100%. And they're not far off, though I consider myself a little more alternative than that. I just so happen to do everything in 6-inch heels and blood red lipstick. Go off, queen, because absolutely not. My feet like the floor. I like it when people stare. I like the attention. I've never been drawn to the meek or mild, at least not until I met Hannah Kate, the journalist hired by Dallin to do a story on Twisted Ink and feature me as its best artist. Even her name screams good girl next door, and that's exactly what she is. Twisted ink. Being a romance writer means drawing inspiration for many things, and when I met Dallin, I knew I had the perfect muse. It was everything woman read all about. Tall, tattooed, irresistibly delicious. Oh, did I mention successful too? He swept me off my feet and right into his bedroom where he awakened things in me I had only ever written about. He was a bad boy who rode on a motorcycle, of course, and I was the perfect good girl next door. Of course, you were perfect together. Or so I thought. When he invites his childhood best friends Trey and Parker to stay with us, I realized right away that there's more than meets the eye to their lifelong relationship. Turns out Dallin wants to share me amongst all three of them, but there's more than that because I soon find out they want to share each other. Oh, okay. Everybody's sharing everything apparently. All right, we'll see. So this author at the book con, Michaela D. Hornato. I'm probably messing up her name really badly, but we're gonna go with Michaela. But this book, Blood of Brew House, it wasn't at the con. I got this. I think it's already in a signed special edition. I believe so. Maybe it's not. But I already had this book from Steamy Lit in Tampa, and I frankly did not know she was gonna be there. So I unfortunately didn't get her to sign this gorgeous version of this book. Why choose one side when I could have both? Blood and Brujas. I mean, look at that cover. Gorgeous. Fate of the Asina? Don't know. Book 1. Gorgeous. So I didn't know she was going to be there, and I saw that she was. And so, of course, what I do? I got book 2. Air and Essence. And I love the cover. Look. You know? Kind of like Wicked vibes with the little... Just saying. Anyway, so let's read so far. Vengeance is coming, and I will be her vessel. For years, the vampires of Sandria have called Denaria a monster. Now they'll learn just how terrifying she's become after losing everything she's worked so hard to keep. She's faced with the consequences of her actions and those that came before her. Denaria will stop at nothing to get what's been stolen from her, even at the expense of her well-being. Connections, both new and established, will be tested as trust is earned and quickly lost. With enemies to the east and west, there aren't many places to turn. Secrets that have lie dormant for thousands of years will be revealed, and not even fate can stop what is to come, for chaos is brewing, and he wears many faces. I love the Wishy Vibes vampires. I'm here for it. Little map. And I met her. She's so nice. Dedicated to the readers who have everything taken from them, may you find the strength to make them pay. Yes. Dedicated to all the readers who never fit into the world's mold. Keep pushing the boundaries, keep making them comfortable, keep being you. And I love that. So this author, Darling Dawn, was so sweet, so nice. My friend got a bomb-ass hat from her. This is the series One Little Nightmare. Look at that sprayed edge. Careful Siren. And then the back of it. Oh, love that foiling. And then this is like a little in between the first and the second one. Once Upon a Nightmare. Show this world what it is to hurt, make them feel the way I feel, kill them. And then the second book, One Saccharine Dream. Eyes on Me, Sunshine. Yes. Unleash your chaos. Unleash your chaos. So this series is all together, but this is just a little extra. I think she said something had happened to a character in the first book, and this is their story. So I was like, of course I have to get it now. I need to know what happened. This is why I'm here. I'm reading to know what's going on. And so for Dawn Darling, A Beautiful Nightmare. Brooks wakes in an insane asylum with a broken wristwatch, hello, and no memories. He spends colorless days ignoring beautiful hallucinations and adrenaline-inducing fighting the monsters inside, but they're only the beginning. After a mystery girl shrouded in secrets and painted with scars appears in the asylum, Brooks wakes from a vivid nightmare to discover that not all is as it seems. A plague. Loons and patients disappear. Brooks works against the clock to uncover the shattered pieces of his past, but what he finds may mean the downfall of Olympus. A sinister dream. Damned to a glass prison, Ixia has never known a life of freedom. The gods of Olympia covet her siren song, and when she's not dancing for them, she's feeding the Lord of Nightmares her soul. Okay, solace is found only with the man she meets in her dreams, but he doesn't even think she's real. Because Brooks is the only one who can save her. Pandora's box has been opened. Oh, and an evil moves in the asylum that even the gods cannot. Oh, shit's about to get real. And then the second book goes into a little bit more. Defiance was not obedience, and good girls were obedient. Still reeling from his trauma in the asylum, Brooks is hell-bent on saving the siren who holds his heart. Fighting the deathless god lurking under his skin is only part of the battle, though when Brooks discovers the great cycle of chaos has been broken, he's left near perilous and out of control. After a deadly battle in Club Hill with Lord of Nightmares, Ixia finds he's no longer the most dangerous monster in the room. She must find a way to balance who she was with who she is becoming. But the path to riches is often paid in blood, and her siren is ravenous for a taste. Some monster. Oh my god, there's art in here. Oh, look how pretty that. Do you see? Look how pretty that is. For all my darlings struggling to embrace their chaos living inside, your darkness is not a monster and your light does not define you. That is so sweet. Embracing your chaos means finding peace in your heart and living with all the parts of who you are, even the ones you hide from. Now I'm going to read the dedication for the first one. Hold up. Oh my gosh, she gave me goodies. Look at that. Boom. Little bookmark. Stunning. So this is from one second dream. That's girl, you should be afraid. Oh. Little spicy scene. Little spicy scene. How cute. Dedication. To all the girlies whose fascination with American Horror Story got a little too deep and the obsession with malevolent gods went a little too hard. For all of those who listen to the Queen of the Damn soundtrack on repeat and relate to Wednesday Addams on a spiritual level. Absolutely. Actually, speaking of Wednesday Addams, she's right there. She's like all the way over there. You see her? Yeah, she's hanging out with my ghost face. This one is for us. I'm sold. I'm sad. We're here. God's Monsters, Morley Gray. I'm thinking Grumpy Sunshine is gonna be happening. So gorgeous. And of course, I got another book from her. Dawn Darling Unwanted. Look at this cover. Some badass baddies just like freaking killing it on this cover. Look, little bright edge, little pop of color. Crawl to me, dearest Denny. Oh my gosh. Look at the little art. Oh, this is so pretty. Stunning. So pretty. To everyone who never got to live through the 80s rock and roll era. Oh, another rock and roll one. Okay. To the few who recognize that Jennifer's Body is dark comedy gold. They are making a remake of that, I believe. For all the darlings who've been through hell and still come out the queen of it, this one is for you. We love that. We love that. And so I gotta say, you know, obviously check. Look at the cat. Look at the cat. Oh my gosh. So cute. Another Rockstar one. How fun. But like, for real. She a baddie. Here's a better view of my little Wednesday. With all my other good books. Ghostface, little Kuromi. But yeah. Another lovely author I met was Karen Hart. Karen. I'm gonna say that's how you say Karen. If it's wrong, someone correct me. I do till death do us part. And look, little bird edge, little ring. The devil's bargain. When she accidentally kills her blackmailing ex, Ava is desperate to avoid getting caught. And her old flame, Sinner Syndicate leader, Lincoln Devil Cruz, is the only man who can help. But he's not willing to offer assistance unless she gives him everything he desires. It's her. Bloody Wedding. Because this is an omnibus, so it has actually 2 stories in it. So The Devil's Bargain and Bloody Wedding. So Bloody Wedding, after learning she'll have to marry a member of the Order of Ode, a sinister secret society, Lonnie Daughtery prepares for her wedding until Adrian Heller, a man from her past, makes a bloody entrance to claim her instead. Bloody what? Yeah, that makes sense. Besides, despite the fact that he was her childhood bully, he's been obsessed with her since he was a kid, and he'll do anything to make her his wife. For those who love the idea of a powerful, morally gray bastard who is obsessed with you, he'll spend 15 years waiting for his second chance, and then he takes it and you. And look, has a little picture. Bloody what? The Devil's Bargain. So these are book 1 of series, so check out her other works. For those who dream of their white wedding, but who get turned on by the idea that your partner loves you so much, the day is drenched in red. Alright, another book I got from her. A special edition, because if you haven't seen, of course. It's called My Wife. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. Look at that. Oh. Your only way out of this relationship is in a box. I mean, I get it. Look at that. Oh, and it has a sprayed edge, of course. Look at that. Yes. Gorgeous. Some art she gave me. The other one I can't show you. Nope. Can't show you that at all. No. For those who want to be the most important person in someone's life, so important that they'll die for you, kill for you, and maybe even wear a mask while they're doing it. My dark romance girlies knows what's up. So another author that was up con, she was super nice. Her dress was amazing and she wore slides with it, like black slides. I think she had on like these pink go-go boots with bats on it before, but she switched to slides and it was such a mood, and I love that. But she was dressed like gothic kind of like era, and her books are freaking stunning. Look how cute they are. Oh my gosh. Little monster romance. She said it's like a little palette cleanser because, you know, dark romance gone. So let's start with the first one. It's from the Monster Bay series. Yeah. Your Coffin of Mine by Jacqueline Hyde. That's her name. Oh my god, look how cute that is. A runaway bride, a grumpy 16-year-old vampire pretending to be human, a disaster waiting to happen. What could possibly be the most infuriating thing to a vampire disgusted by the internet? A 26-year-old social media influencer that just ran out on her cheating fiance and insists on staying in Vlad's quiet castle. But he needs money to repair his ancestral home, and Audrey needs a place to lick her wounds after getting her heart broken. He is ready to have humans invading his space. He is not, however, ready for her. She wants to feed him garlic, parades around in tiny shorts, and incenses him at every turn. Can he really play house with a human? Especially when he just can't seem to fight the urge to stay away from. The holiday meets dark shadows and the grumpy sunshine romance. Oh, that is so cute. Grumpy sunshine. Oh, you totally get that vibe from the movie. I mean, look at that. He's fucking over it. And then look at this sprayed edge. How freaking adorable. So this is the first book. This book is for anyone who ever made gimme hands at any vampire character and ever wished one would come play with their fun buns. Yes. This is also your sign to not take this book seriously. Crack on. Absolutely. That is fantastic. And now the second book, Monster Bay series, How You Doing? How You Doing? I love books like that. When they're like a little cheesy and a little dad jokey. I love it. An introverted chef, a hungry lichen shifter hiding among humans, a desire harder than any kitchen ought to be. When Whitley Witt becomes a chef at Castle Tepesh, she wants nothing more than to get the funds to buy back her grandmother's bakery and return to living her best life, reading romance and baking cupcakes, of course. That sounds fantastic. But the castle gets creepier by day, and she thinks Connor Doyle is the biggest boss hole to ever live. Boss hole. I love it. Connor Doyle's greatest wish is to prove monsters and humans can coexist after turning Dracula's home into a hotel. As he juggles a castle filled with humans hosted by monsters, a yacht-stealing vampire best friend, and one chef who continuously tempts him with cupcakes and spite, he struggles to keep his identity secret. When sparks and fangs fly, who will be the last wolf standing? So cute. And look at this braid edge. Oh, so cute. To all the book lovers who read Little Red Riding Hood and said, I want to climb that fucker like a tree and blow his house down. For the third book in the series, Stitched Up in You. Look at this braid edge. It's so cute. A talented hacker, a stoic supernatural. He's unused to the word. No, he's not used to it. She delights in tormenting him. When Bernadette Crenshaw used questionable means to look into her best friend's new vacation fling, she never thought it would disrupt the dealings of the world's most eligible billionaire bachelor, Frankenstein. Not together, but Frankenstein. As more than a few skeletons in his closet and swore off mingling with humans long ago. But when one hacks his company, resulting in the release of a toxic formula that turns humans to ghouls, he has no choice but to force her to cooperate. When literal sparks and pettiness flies, I love that. Who will be the one left standing? Spicy enemies to love and romance with the morally great MMC billionaire and possessive tropes. Can be read as a standalone. To anyone who just wants a monster to diddle their bits and go home to their cat. These dedications keep getting more unhinged, girl, but I love it. So the series is just so freaking adorable. I love anything like Halloween-y, cute, cozy. Oh, I can't wait. Remember, in all these, they're all, you know, dark romance, dark fantasy, something like that. They have trigger warnings. Read them. Research your authors. Research what you can and can't read before you get it. And check them out. Check out their works, because I'm sure they have other things that are brewing. And I hope you liked the video. And thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And remember, do it awkward, do it weird, but at least you freaking did it. Thank you so much.
She know how to say yes, daddy. Good girl, she know how to make a